Hey there, you are a human. Well, hopefully at least, but I guess you never know at this point. Anyways, have you ever wondered just how much better robots are than you? Well, why don't we find out? On a serious note though, you're probably familiar with a website known as humanbenchmark.com, unless you've been living under a rock. And well, if that's the case, let me just give you a brief description of how it actually works. Basically, it's just a website with a bunch of tests that allow humans to measure their brains. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I just thought it would be interesting to create a bot and compare my results with the bots. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. So first and foremost, reaction time. Probably one of the more straightforward tests on this website because, well, all you have to do is literally just wait for green, click, rinse, repeat 5 times. And as you can see, I got about 240 milliseconds, which is actually pretty consistent with the average, according to this website at least. Wikipedia suggests it's closer to like 190, but ain't nobody bothered to do actual scientific research here. They just skip to the fun part. And yeah, as expected, the Python script just completely annihilates the human score. But what if I told you we can push the limits even more? See, the way that the code works right now is basically I have a Python script that continuously checks the value of one pixel on the screen, and based on the color, it does a certain thing. So for example, if that pixel is blue or red, it waits, and once that pixel turns green, it clicks as soon as possible. Now, the problem here is that Python, first of all, is not the fastest language, and second of all, that approach has many different layers to it. Like you first gotta output the pixel to the screen, then you gotta get that pixel, check what color that pixel is, and in general, it's a lot of calculations that you can omit by making a browser extension and injecting the code directly into the web page. So that's what I did after reading a lot of documentation and debugging a lot of problems. But I did do it anyways, and I'm glad to present to you the reactioner. I don't have a script. I'm coming up with this on the fly. Anyways, look at those results, man. That is 5 milliseconds on average, which happens to be almost 50 times better than I did, which is absolutely crazy. But what if I told you we can push the limits even more? Okay, no, never mind. There's probably a way to do it to get it to like 2 to 3 milliseconds consistently, but I ain't spending my weekend on that shit. So good luck if you want to try that, but we're moving on to part 2. Part 2. This is about aim training. So there is this test where you have 30 targets and they appear one after another, and you just have to click all of them as fast as you can. And well, admittedly, I kinda suck at that. But you know what doesn't suck at that? My browser extension. Look at those scores, man. 16 milliseconds. That is 30 times faster than I managed to do it. And I'll be honest, with the current score of 2-0, it's not looking good for the human team. But maybe we will manage to pull it back in round 3, the hearing test. Now the idea here is that you're played a really high frequency sound of about 22 kilohertz, and it slowly starts going down, and you have to click the button as soon as you can hear it. Now it turns out that I'm actually pretty good at this test. I'm not sure if it's the bugginess of my headphones, because they're so fucking old, or it's just me being actually good at something. But I can hear the sound at approximately 20 kilohertz, which is pretty, not like awesome, but it's pretty good. And also, I don't know how well known it is, but robots don't really have ears or the ability to hear. So instead, what we're going to be doing is just making it click the button as soon as. That's the best I could come up with. And what a shame, a close call, but it seems like the robot team will be taking the dub again. And at this point, you really start to wonder, are we all just doomed? Is there no hope for humanity left? And yeah, the answer is yes, we're all just gonna die. But we can maybe still win this war. All is not lost, because the final round is what we've been doing for years before computers were even invented. The stakes are high as ever. Part 4, typing. But before we get to the actual test, let me just mention quickly that I started touch typing only like a couple months ago. So don't you even dare go and shit on me in the comments for how slow I am. Because let me tell you, I will cry. Just please don't do it. I actually will cry, please. Anyhow, back to the science. As you can see, I start off with a solid 80 words per minute. Good start. Then it just goes downhill to like 60 words per minute. But at least I managed to maintain that speed consistently throughout the whole race. And you never know. I mean, the browser extension could just break randomly, especially considering the code is written by me. But anyways, without further ado, let's find out. Can humanity peel it back? The answer is no. A really fucking hard no. I mean, seriously, how does that even work? Like almost 6,000 words per minute. I don't even know how the code works like that, but I'm not complaining. So yeah, I'm sure it comes as no surprise at this point, but the bot just completely destroys the human score. And that's perfectly normal because that's what computers are good at. Just short, simple tasks that they can carry out at pretty much lightning speeds. You might have also noticed that I only used 4 tests in this example, and there's a couple reasons of that. First, I'm really lazy, and second, I thought that I might save the rest for and make an AI for them because that'd be kind of cool. Obviously, I can create robots for them too, but that's not as fun. And sure, the AI is less efficient and less fast, but it will also be more interesting to see train. So if you're interested, maybe just subscribe.
And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the classics.